Robin Todd, the Executive Director for T-TEL. Please let's show him some love. He is going to speak on transforming education, teachers, and learning in Ghana. Please, we can do better than what we're saying. He is called Akwesi Broni Todd. Yao Akwesi Broni Todd.
Madam Chairperson, invited guests, all protocols observed. Adasaba. Tamasim. Dagbani Bila. This is my 4th Ghana Teacher Prize, but it's the first time that we've had Ghana Teacher Prize in the Northern region and in Tamale. So I'm very pleased and excited to be here. I first came to the Northern region 22 years ago when I was posted as a VSO, voluntary service overseas. I did my form of national service in a senior high school, Wulugu Senior High School, in what is now the Northeast region. So it's been 22 years since I first came to Tamale, and it's great to be back. I'm going to talk very briefly today about T-TEL as an organization and about some of the transformation that has already taken place in our colleges of education and in our universities when it comes to initial teacher education. Because I find that one of the things that I find as an adopted Ghanaian, and I say that as someone who's been married to a Ghanaian for 17 years and has been working in Ghana for a long time, is that sometimes we are too humble about our achievements. When we do make progress, we don't like to talk about it. And instead, we focus on the issues and the challenges. And it's right that we focus on the issues and the challenges. But we should also take some time to reflect on the positive things that we've managed to achieve over the past 5 or 6 years. So T-TEL stands for Transforming Teaching, Education and Learning. We are a proudly Ghanaian not-for-profit organization. We were established in July 2020. And we were founded by 15 very prominent Ghanaian educationalists. I'm pleased to say that the keynote speaker, Professor Gati Ampia, is one of the founding subscribers of T-TEL. Thank you, sir. As we're in Tamale, I should also mention Al-Haji Mohammed Haroon, Cambodia, another of our founding members. Professor Mohammed Salifu, Professor Rita Akwesua Dixon, Professor Jofus Anamwa Mensah is our first board chair. So I think it represents some of the finest minds in Ghanaian education. And the idea behind forming T-TEL as an organization is that often we rely on foreign technical assistance, foreign support, but often also, as Ghanaians, we understand the issues and the contexts which we are facing. So can T-TEL be an organization which meets world-class standards of technical assistance, of financial management, but owned and operated fully by Ghanaians? And so that is what we're trying to achieve. We want to work to support the ministry, to support GES, to support NTC, to achieve their own objectives. Too often in Ghana, we have projectized aid. We see everything coming as a project, to be packaged as a project, to be branded as a project. And it might achieve results over 1, 2, 3, 4 years, but after the project ends, what happens? So the idea behind T-TEL is, can we be an agency to attract support from donors to be able to support government to achieve their long-term objective? That's what we're trying to do. And the reason why T-TEL was founded is because of some of the successes that were achieved by the T-TEL project in initial teacher education. Over the past 6 years, there has been a transformation in the quality of teacher education in Ghana. But it's a story that many people don't know about in terms of the general public. So I'm going to give you some facts and figures today. In 2017, on 28 September 2017, the government passed a cabinet memorandum which put in place the National Teacher Standards as the official benchmark for teacher professionalism in Ghana. And they also announced that we would be upgrading initial teacher education. So the minimum standard required to teach in a Ghanaian basic school as a newly qualified teacher would become a Bachelor of Education degree. And as Professor Gati MP has said, this is all about raising standards. He talked about Finland. We want to ensure that in Ghana, we have the content knowledge and the pedagogy to lead the way, certainly in Africa. So that was introduced in partnership with 5 teaching universities. The University of Cape Coast, University for Development Studies, University of Ghana, University of Education Winneba, and KNUST. The 5 universities came together. They produced their own curricula. Those curricula were there approved and were assessed by a panel of international assessors who said that Ghana had produced a genuinely world-class initial teacher education curriculum. The challenge then was implementing the curriculum. Let me give you some figures. In 2015, in the colleges of education, 26% of tutors were using student-focused teaching methodology. By 2021, that 26% had increased to 77%. And these are figures that T-TEL knows because they do an annual external evaluation each year. So nationwide, 26% of tutors using student-focused methods to 77%. Tutors using gender-focused teaching methods increased from 2% in 2015 to 70% in 2021. And these changes in colleges were driven by professional learning community, PLC sessions, taking place each week in the college, run by the tutors themselves, bringing them up to speed with the national teacher standards and also the new curriculum. What impact did this have on beginning teachers? What impact did this have on the teachers entering basic schools every year from the colleges of education? In 2015, when T-TEL did the survey, only 2% of beginning teachers that they observed, and they go to the classroom of around about 600 beginning teachers each year, selected randomly across Ghana to observe how they're teaching. In 2015, only 2% of beginning teachers were observed in the classroom to be meeting the standards of the PDM, now the National Teacher Standards. By 2019, that 2% had increased nationally to 40%. I think we should applaud ourselves. You see, I said in Ghana, we're too quiet about things. Do you think if Nigeria had improved the quality of teacher education from 2% to 40%, we wouldn't be hearing about it? We need to talk about the things that we're improving and the things that we're doing well. In 2021, it had reduced again to 33% because of the disruptions with COVID. But still, it's a very, very significant improvement. If we look at understanding and application of the new curriculum, in 2015, only 2% of beginning teachers understood the new curriculum. By 2019, it was 41%. By 2021, it was 42%. This has been a quiet revolution. The aim for GES and for NTC now is how can we bring about similar transformation in our senior high schools, in our basic schools. And that is where T-TEL will be working from next year to support the national rollout of PLC sessions in every single senior high school and senior high technical school in Ghana. We have already piloted this with NTC and GES in 12 schools. Every week, teachers will go through structured sessions, focusing on the national teacher standards and focusing on the new curriculum, which is being written at the moment by NACA, and which will address some of the issues in our system, like the fact that in our senior high schools, many young people are not learning at grade level expected of them. The new curriculum will address that, and we will ensure that over the next year or two, these weekly sessions will help teachers become familiar with the new curriculum. And NTC has confirmed that attendance in these weekly school-based sessions will qualify teachers for CPD points. CPD points free of charge, I should say. Also, we want to work in basic schools. We're already working in Lambusi, in Akwapim South, and in Bosome Freo to introduce more participatory learning sessions in schools. And we'll be supporting NTC and NSS to make sure that service personnel who are posted to senior high schools have basic pedagogy training to go with the content knowledge they've got from university. But finally, in the program of support, and I should thank MasterCard Foundation, I should thank the Jacobs Foundation for their support, they've recognized the importance of teacher morale. And it's an issue that we need to talk about. When we conduct surveys across senior high schools in the country, we see that teacher morale is low. So there are going to be a set of methods and measures that we want to put in place to try to recognize and reward teachers who are doing a great job. The Ghana Teacher Prize is part of that, but we want to make sure going ahead from next year at school level, we start to recognize good performance. We start to recognize teachers who are going above and beyond to ensure that a form of intrinsic motivation can help improve pedagogy, help improve practice. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for listening to me today, and I look forward to working with you all in years to come. Impuya Pam.